When cancer affects one of us, it affects all of us. The C word is without a doubt one of the scariest phrases a person can hear. In my own mind, I begin to immediately think of an uncontrollable sickness and eventual death. One of the more common forms of cancer is leukemia. Leukemia is a cancer that has or will affect each and every one of our lives. And not enough people donate bone marrow and blood stem cells, the best shot toward a cure. Donating bone marrow and blood stem cells can prolong and possibly even save lives. It is, for the most part, a painless procedure, and the registry of donors lacks participants. Bone marrow and blood stem cell donors are hard to find and exponentially harder to get a correct match for the recipient. For the recipient, life is already moving in a difficult direction. They battle with the reality that with leukemia, there's a very good chance they might meet an early demise. Donating bone marrow and stem cells can help prolong and possibly save the lives of leukemia and other cancer patients. According to marrow.org, in 2012, there was an estimated 47,150 new cases of leukemia. There was also an estimated death toll of over 23,000 from the disease. Leukemia is often referred to as a cancer of the blood. This form of cancer is the leading cause of death by disease for children under the age of 14 in the United States. Large numbers of cancerous cells spread rapidly throughout the bloodstream, and they work their way into the bone marrow. Bone marrow and stem cell donations are extremely vital for people in this situation. These new cells work to allow patients to receive larger and more potent doses of chemotherapy. This is a very common tool used to battle cancers by destroying the cancerous cells. The new donated cells are used to replace the ones that are killed by chemotherapy and by simply battling the disease alone. Even more astounding, the new cells enter the body and they actively attack cells with remaining traces of leukemia, mostly because they are viewed as an intruder to the body of the patient they were donated to. The donation of bone marrow and blood stem cells is generally a painless procedure. For bone marrow extraction, a needle is inserted into the hip or the lower pelvis region, and bone marrow cells are withdrawn from the body's supply. In the past, this procedure was viewed as being an extremely painful experience for the donor, with a large risk attached to it. However, donating is actually generally done under full anesthesia. Little is even remembered of the process. A little prick of the needle from the anesthesia is the most common side effect, followed by a minor soreness in the lower back area for a few days up to a week after. The procedure of extracting stem cells from the blood should cause no more discomfort than giving blood or donating plasma. In stem cell donation, the patient is set up in the same manner and blood is drawn from the arm and returned back to the body after being run through a process that separates the cells from the blood. Symptoms other than those similar to giving blood, like lightheadedness and fatigue, are very rare. With all of the negative connotations surrounding these procedures, side effects are surprisingly minimal. Even with an impressive track record and the fact that these new cells greatly increase the chance of new life to someone suffering from leukemia, bone marrow and blood stem cell donors are hard to find and exponentially harder to get a correct match for the recipient. Only 2% of our population, as you can see by the graph, is signed up for the National Bone Marrow Registry. 30% of those patients have a matching donor within their family. That leaves the remaining 70% to hope that a compatible stranger can be found. The donor must match a patient's tissue type in order to even be considered. The gap between donors and patients needs to be decreased. over 40,000 people will get leukemia this year. For any particular patient, there's a 1 in 20,000 chance that a donor will even be found. That's equivalent to winning $100 on the Powerball by matching 4 numbers exactly. It might not seem like the worst odds for lottery numbers, but when a life is at stake, the odds are astounding. Further yet, many of the people who are already on the registry will refuse to donate when called upon, or might even not be eligible to donate anymore. Signing up for the registry is as simple as going to www.marrow.org and clicking join. They will send a package in the mail, and you take multiple swabs of the inside of your mouth and mail it back to them. By donating bone marrow and blood stem cells, we can all help prolong and possibly save the lives of many leukemia and cancer patients. The process is a mostly painless procedure, and it shouldn't be as difficult to find donors as it is today. It's easy to sign up, and the pros greatly outweigh the cons. So sign up for the bone marrow registry. Let's make a difference and change the impact cancers like leukemia have on our lives. When cancer affects one of us, it affects all of us.